Store here between the New York Giants and the Las Vegas Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A good start. One play, 10 yards. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Jones. He gets it complete to Jackson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Up the middle with Barkley. And taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants are on the board first here in Vegas. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. Well, this defense for the Giants, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
In today's NFL, when you talk about goals for defenses, and you think that maybe you'd like to hold them under 14 points or so, we think our offense can usually get 17 to 20, so that's a reasonable goal. But when you hold a team under 100 yards of total offense, you're going to win 99 times out of 100. And the one game you lose, you'll know who to blame.
Second and 9 now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Barkley inside handoff. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. 70 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape.
And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Giants are off to a 13-0 first-quarter lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and 3rd and 8 now.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
They'll drop to throw.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd down and 8. Adams, the man in motion right.
Blue striker.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got Fuller.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Steal. Check steal. Hey, check mega. Ready, throw.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. A screen to Bell. Oh, and the ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture.
Ready, go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Touchdown! Davante Adams with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list.
And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it's 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away.
And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Here we go.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Yellow, 22.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Go red.
They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 5, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Adams, the man in motion left. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And that is no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss, because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled.
Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. It's complete to Fuller. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Punt, blue, 32. Ready.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens, because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
They'll look to throw again. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Here we go.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Carlson is good, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
It's a squibber picked up around the 27. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it
in this third quarter of action. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get...
And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down.
Check, smash. Go.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. A gain of 3, second down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And some room to work. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, 62 yards. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 47 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. A handoff to Barkley. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Barkley again, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Giants take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They're going to look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And absolutely zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
Now, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done.
Yellow, go. Black Ultra. Ready, go.
They're going to try and throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
Fielded just inside the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Throwing Jones. He'll buy some time right. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Now, the PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
And they'll accept that penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now. Number 32. Jackrack. Ready, go.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Red 38.
12's the mark. Bring it.
Yellow, zoom.
Check back 12. What's the run? Back 12. Mike.
Back to throw now on first down. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And the Raiders have got him. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. They went zone blitz there, obviously successful. What makes the zone blitz successful?
Well, just go ahead and let's break the term down. Zone means they're going to play zone behind them in coverage, not man-to-man. But the zone blitz, why it's confusing to offenses? Because oftentimes defensive ends or defensive tackles will drop back into coverage, and linebackers or safeties will usually fill that gap and blitz in their spot, messing up the blocking responsibilities.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game. He's moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jones. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it.
And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other.
Under pressure, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Smash, red.
He'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Claws red.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it.
And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Ultra. Ready.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
He'll get this to Bell.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
He'll drop to throw.
Right back to Bell, and it's caught once again.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas 1st down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Bell.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Ready, go.
Back to throw again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
You, yellow. Check, cut.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Need old blue.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
A leap in, he's got it. He got it. 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
A
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends.